Jackson Radio Show.
Welcome back, everybody. Kevin Jackson here. It's got to be one of the funniest stories I've heard in a while that this ESPN announcer, Robert Lee, was called off of a story. Or what was he going to do? He was going to be the announcer, like the play-by-play guy for the University of Virginia game. By the way, why do we still have southern states? Shouldn't we have gotten rid of the southern states and renamed them or something? Texas is an Indian word. Probably Arizona is too, or at least maybe Spanish or something. Tejas is a Spanish word, but I think Texas may be Indian. What else we got down south? Mississippi, Alabama. Those may be Indian tribes. I'm not sure. But here's the thing. Just to be on the safe side, we should rename them. Maybe call them like Shaquan and Shaniqua. Where are you from? I'm from Shaniqua, Texas. Because that way we're cool. We know by naming people after Shaniqua, we're never going to have to tear down that statue because it's never going to be built. Hey, I'm just keeping it real. If you name your kid Shaniqua, you have doomed them. And it isn't because Shaniquas necessarily have to be bad. It's that anybody that would think that's a good name, and I know it's all subjective because there's some strange names. It's like, naming your child Chaz. Isn't that what they call Chaz Bono? What was it? Chastity? Chastity. Chastity Bono's claim to fame is becoming Chaz, which is a name for Charles. That's her claim to fame. Think about the weird names. Who was it? Oh, girl. That girl that was a singer for a while. She married a billionaire, and he tried to make her into a singer. She had a funny name. People with funny names rarely make it. You know what people tend to do? Like Whoopi Goldberg. Whoopi Goldberg said, the only way for me to get noticed is through my funny name. And she called herself Whoopi Goldberg because she said if she gave herself a Jewish name, she would get work. And she did. And she took that and made it into something. But I don't know what her given name is. It's probably like Sarah Burney or something. It's probably something silly. Find out what Whoopi Goldberg's real name is. So you have these people changing their names, but and I don't know. Well, all I'm saying is this: if you, from a name perspective, Robert Lee, this Asian dude, that's not his name. His name is like Wang, and he came to America and he called himself Lee. I had a friend. His name was Robert Chan. His real name was Mao Saint Ling. Mao Saint Ling. Who wants to say Mao Saint Ling? So we called him Robert. So this dude, Robert Lee, he picked that name because it was easy. His real name may be Lee Li. It's Chinese. I know he's Chinese because you don't get, Japanese are not named Lee. So anyways, Chinese, Lee, probably Li. He spells it Lee. And it's likely to sort of get rid of this idea he's Chinese. Now, I don't think he's running from his culture, but he's like, I don't want people to automatically assume I'm Chinese. He may be on the phone with me. He's like, yeah, hey, how's it going, Bill? And hey, Robert. And they think he's white. There are people that do that. When I was on the phone selling, people thought I was white. I would show up and they were like, where's the dude I talked to? I'm right here. Yeah, gotcha there, buddy. But I didn't cover it up. I talked just like my dad. So it was genetic. So it wasn't like I'm covering it up, but I understand people do. I wouldn't take a call like, hey, what's up? How y'all doing? Listen, this is Kevin. I'm going to be out there to deliver you your parts and everything. And, if you available and stuff, we could get together. I'll get you these parts. I would never have sold anything. And if my name had been Jamal or, whatever. I can't even think of black names right now. See how frustrated you have me, you producers? You better come up with a male black name, and you got 3 minutes. Come up with a good male black name. All right? And don't try to go Pookie on me. But it would be funny if try to sell something and your name is Pookie. Hey, this is Pookie Jackson. And Mr. How you doing, sir? Pookie might sell me something. I'm serious. If a dude call me, how you doing? I need to speak to Mr. Jackson. Well, who's calling? It's Pookie Jenkins. Oh, Pookie. What's up, Pookie? What's up, Mr. Jackson? May I call you Kevin? Absolutely, Pookie, if I can call you Pookie. But so Pookie might sell something. But in the real world, in the business world, Pookies don't go over that well. If you name your son Pookie or your daughter Shaniqua or Chanel or Portia, I'm just telling you, you stuck a pole in your daughter's future and you stuck a broom in your son's hand if you name him Pookie or something like that. You know what I mean? Jaswan, Jaquan. I don't know what it is with black people and boys' names, but we love doing something with J names. You know what I mean? We like Jaquan, Jashawn, Jadon, Jalon, whatever. We love those. Fascination. Asians like simple names. I'm, John Lee, John Smith, whatever. And Lee is used a lot because Lee is a very common Chinese name. Yeah. Shu, HSU. They should just spell that phonetically because that jacks people up. Hasu, HSU, Shu. Anyway, Robert Lee got kicked off of doing a broadcast. Why? Because Robert, his name was too close to the Confederate General Robert E. Lee, and it might trigger some people. They may not be able to watch the show. Black people might go, hold on, is that Robert E.? He doesn't look like a Robert E. Lee, but he might have been a Robert E. Lee. I don't know. And then get all scared, right? Black people go, I'm not watching that channel ever again. Oh, no, not ESPN. Oh, scary. You see how ridiculous that is? Who is it? It would be like me saying, I cannot, if a white person said, I cannot watch that show because that guy's name was Jeff Daimler, and it's too close to Jeffrey Dahmler, or what's his name, Gacy? I don't know, something Wayne Gacy, John Wayne Gacy. What would trigger you white people? I'm curious. Because that's what we're talking about. We're talking about triggers. You get triggered because somebody's name is close to something. Yeah, I mean, look, I get it if you don't want to name your son after your wife's boyfriend in college. I understand that. But don't be triggered over a name. Robert E. Lee versus Robert Lee. And the irony is, he wasn't even white. It wasn't like the dude was white and he was a spitting image of Robert E. Lee. You wouldn't believe it. No, he was freaking Asian. And they still freaked out. We must issue a trigger warning. We almost we almost let Robert Lee host the game. This is ESPN giving we were going to let Robert Lee do the football game at the University of Virginia, but now that we've thought about it, you didn't even have to write in. We self-corrected, America. Thank us for self-correcting ourselves. That's what we do at ESPN, the politically correct sports station. We'll be back with more of the I hate Negroes in curling soon. It's just crazy. Short break.
This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.